Today I'll be showing you how to make a simple IT sidebar with just the Pixibricks page editor, not using the workshop at all. So first we'll open up the page editor with F12 or Inspect Element and go into the Pixibricks tab, click Add, and add a sidebar panel. If we search in the Marketplace, there's a document context panel which will give us context on the page such as URL. You won't see this in V2, it can't be done, but there are a lot of nice tools in V3, and it will be the default eventually. So over here, here's the things that are grabbed by the document, context, URL, and timestamp. So to start, we will make an HTTP GET request to just JSONIP.com. When we paste it over here, and then we click Render Panel, it'll update everything and make the call. And here we get the IP. So the little button next to it allows you to copy the variable reference to it. So if we do another HTTP GET, now I'm going to paste this here early, but remember that pasting just a variable there changes the type variable. We want this to be text, and to use a variable in text, you use brackets around it. And we want this next call to call this website. And it's better to use HTTPS here, I noticed. For some reason, their documentation just says HTTP. And when we render this, we get a lot more information, as you can see. So next, now that we have all this data, we start rendering a document in the panel. Now that we have this, when we click Render Panel, it actually renders the panel. We can put a title here, and now that I think of it, we can also put a title here under extension name called IT Sidebar Example, and the heading can be IT. So here it says IT. And here we can say IT side panel. Voila. It renders right up here. And then this one we can remove with this remove button, and we can add text. Here let's display the IP. Here we'll do the double brackets for a variable again, and grab the IP, which is @response.ip. @response is this brick's output. Going back to the preview to select this and paste it here. Now when we render the panel, it'll put the IP there. Now next, we can render the website here as well, just to make sure that it's the correct URL and everything. So here, if we look at the context, input.url. And now we have the URL in there as well. And beneath that, we could put, let's say, the ISP. Or anything from all this data here. And there we go. So let's click save to make sure we don't lose anything. And now underneath that, let's add a block. So add block. So these you can put additional renderers inside of, such as an iframe. Here, let's try putting, let's do fast.com as an example. And now we have a little speed test going on in our sidebar. When it saves, it reloads it. And if you didn't want this running all the time, you could have it in a separate blueprint. So now let's see. Let's add a button. Currently our button defaults to confetti. It'll default to something else eventually, but for now the confetti's fun. You can see that there. And we can make this open a tab. And we open a tab for, let's open a tab for creating a ticket. And just as an example, here's the URL to make a new issue on Pixie Bricks. So you can add a body parameter on it. And in that body parameter, you can put whatever you need. Like if we set encoding to a %, because that's what they use there, then we can have all these line breaks here, and it'll automatically convert those. So see all this empty space? You can have it say something like IP. Basically all the same stuff that's over there already. Website. ISP. So let's click save again. And now we have the create ticket button. That'll open up a new issue, auto-populated with all of this information. And any other information you'd want, you can throw in there. So now, last but not least, let's also add a link. So let's add a link here. So for this example, let's just pull up a help article from Microsoft. So we'll take that, and honestly, you could just put a whole custom web page in here if you wanted to. But let's put that there, click save. And when we click the link, it opens up that article right here in the side panel. Pretty cool. And you can go back just by reopening that. Yep. From there, we have this side panel extension. We can go to any other web page, open the side panel, and get the website URL here. And if you want to create a ticket from it, we have our URL here. So yeah, you are good to go. Hope this was helpful. Thank you.